Fighting games is my first love. I've been playing fighting games since the early 90s and I can't get enough of it. Now, fast forward to 2026, the fighting game genre is continuously improving for the better. Ever since 2009 and Street Fighter 4 came out, it's just been a phenomenal genre to get into and it does not disappoint. When you look at what happened with Evo this past weekend, Evo Japan, Tampa Never Sleeps, and other type of tournaments they had, it's been absolutely amazing. Now, I will admit the only new fighting game I have been playing was Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves. I've been playing it on live streams, and I've been missing out because I know Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, those games are absolutely great. But the only thing that held me back, and I don't really want to hinder on this too much. The only thing that held me back with that game was the microtransactions, the season passes. For me personally, I thought the prices were a little bit too steep, but I cannot deny that those games are absolutely phenomenal. And not only that, I'm just talking about all the other games in general. Every game is getting some type of update, some patch, or they're just getting, a lot of recognition from the Virtual Fighter 5s. You looking at Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, even Mortal Kombat the Legacy Collection, or that came out and that just got crossplay. So the entire genre is really doing bonkers right now. When I look at other genres in the fighting or in the gaming space, it just doesn't compare in my opinion. I've been sitting here around just playing older games and just enjoying myself with the fighting game genre, but I can't deny that this type of stuff makes me want to really get back into playing the newer stuff again because it's just great with all the doom and gloom that you hear about at times when you on YouTube or whatever the case may be. You do realize that, hey, you know what? It's not really that bad. And what Evo and Tampa Never Sleeps have done has really showed that, hey, these fighting games are great. They really are. I mean, they have their shortcomings because they're not perfect, and the pricing for admission to some season passes are a little bit weird. But at the end of the day, if you really are invested in it and you really want to play, you can have a great time. And I'm not even going to, I haven't even started to mention about the new stuff that's supposed to come out. Invincible Versus just came out, and people are loving that. You look at the situation with Tokon. I mean, the new characters that are going to be in Tokon. I mean, Incredible Hulk looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I'm looking at that game like, yo, this is a game that I'm willing to pay day one and get all the, play the deluxe season pass version and just have everything day one. It just feels like that game is going to be really, really, really good. And now we're starting to get rumblings about possibly a new Injustice, even Mortal Kombat 1. A lot of people was down in that game. But like I said, the genre is on fire because that game sold 8 million units. And I think that's more than any other game that's out here right now that's in the fighting space. I'm not sure. You can quote me on that, or I don't know. I just know they sold 8 million units. That's absolutely, mind blowing when you think about what's going on here. Now, like I said, now you can double back with Tekken, the new players or the new characters. Kunimitsu is going to be in the game. She's coming back. I think she was in Tekken 7, which, speaking of Tekken 7, that game just went on sale again where you can get all the season passes. And I know it's an older game, but it's a very solid fighting game. And I bought all of that finally for my PS5 for like $14. I mean, I bought the all season passes. I already had it on my PC, but I double dipped because I like to do stuff like that when it comes to fighting games. Because out of all of this stuff, I love sports titles, but fighting games, that's my first passion. And it is what it is. And, I went back and played some Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, playing some Street Fighter Collection. I even went back to play some Street Fighter 4, the vanilla version of Street Fighter 4. And I've been realizing, like, the evolution of that game from the vanilla version to Ultra is something that is really need to be expounded upon a little bit more because they've done a great job with all four of those games that came out in the Street Fighter 4 series. And there's no shortcomings of finding a good game to play when it comes to the fighting game genre. You can find something. And there's other games I haven't even mentioned that are out there. I know like Rumble Fish and Skullgirls and 2XKO and I even saw on what I think it was Tampa Never Sleeps, or I think it was Tampa Never Sleeps. They were playing the Kenshiro game I can't remember the name, but it's a Japanese exclusive. They were playing that, and I've been kicking myself because I said I was gonna buy that game, and I never really tried to import it. But that game looks out. It always looked great in my opinion. Capcom versus SNK. All of these games have been displayed or put on display at all of these tournaments these past few weeks. And I mean, there's no shortage. There's absolutely no shortage. Now they're gonna have DreamHack. That's the next tournament that they're going to be showing off here in Atlanta because I live in Atlanta. I am really thinking about going there because the way that the fighting game genre is showing right now, I think I need to be in the midst of that culture because I always play these games at home. I go to an arcade every now and then, but I do not get the chance to go to a convention. And with that convention being basically like 10 days away, I may go to that and just enjoy what they have to offer because we all this stuff has been going on in with the gaming space. All these price hikes, price drops. Companies aren't necessarily um getting their stuff together. I know Xbox had another issue with party chat. They got all this stuff going on. PlayStation have their issues. But when you really look at certain genres, whether you're playing on a PlayStation 1, if you're playing on a Super Nintendo all the way up until now, you can get some good fighting game reps in and actually have a great time, whether it be by yourself, co-op, online, it doesn't matter. And yes, like I said, even online on the Super Nintendo and stuff, because through emulators, you can go on Fightcade and the Fightcade is a whole different, rabbit hole you can go down to. Fightcade have people playing online, and it is phenomenal watching those guys play all these and girls play all these games on Fightcade from the old games to the new games. This genre is not lacking of substance at all. It's not lacking of choices. And you, like I said, you can go to any other genre in the gaming space, and yes, you're gonna have your ups and downs. Even in the fighting game genre, you're gonna have your ups and downs. But there's just too much here. There's too much to this genre, and I'm loving every bit of it. Like I said, when it comes to the Street Fighters, the Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Virtual Fighter, Fatal Fury, King of Fighters 15, King of Fighters 14. They're like some. I think they went back and played KOF 98. World Heroes, another SNK game. That game is about to be released on Steam, and I mean, this is just like I said, it is just a phenomenal time when you look at the world of fighting games, and I'm here for it. I'm here for every bit of it. Whether I'm going to play games on my Dreamcast or whether I'm going to play on my PS5 or I'm going to play on PC. I mean, just the other night, well, I say last night while I was watching Evo, I went back to play some Killer Instinct 2013, and I'm like, yo, because I need to solve. I need to basically sharpen up my skills because I play so much. I play so many games. I'm not really efficient in all of the games like I should be. And I was like, yo, this game from 13 years ago is still great. This game is still good. Like, there's so many good games, man. I can't see anybody in the fighting game space complaining about not having a game to play or finding a space where you can actually play a game and enjoy yourself and really, fit in with some part of this genre. Like I said, all the names that I've named, like the Street Fighters, Tekken, Virtual Fighter, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, 2XKO, Marvel. I like Marvel Tokon. I mean, it's so many games, guys. It's so many, and like I said, this is probably the best genre in the gaming right now, and I don't see it slowing down. It's just too many games that are out here, and I haven't even started talking about Dead or Alive, even though Dead or Alive, what they're doing with last round, six Dead or Alive 6 last round, they're basically giving you the same game. And I don't know if you already have the original one, is it worth paying $40 for the other one? I mean, I think they're gonna have to do a lot to get people to jump over and play because Dead or Alive 6 is a little shaky. And like I said, even though that game is not where it needs to be overall because of, Dead or Alive, you still have a situation where there's so many other games to play. And to be honest, I do um I wish it gets enough support so we can get a Dead or Alive 7 because this is kind of like a testing ground. And I think the only game that we really are lacking right now is another Soul Calibur. That may be the only one. But nevertheless, I can go on and on about this. I don't want to hold you guys up. You guys let me know what you think. Are you into the fighting game genre? How are you holding up with this this genre? Are you watching it? Do you watch Evo? Did you watch Tampa Never Sleep? Do you watch any other tournament that's out there? Like I said, I plan on going to DreamHack. I do want to go to DreamHack because this is I gotta be there in person. I gotta see it for myself because I'm always watching on the internet or whatever the case may be. I gotta go and see these tournaments for myself. So, nevertheless, I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all take it easy. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. Peace.